जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। यस्यैकनिःश्वसितकालमथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदन्दनाथाः विष्णुर्महांस इह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्वं हदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, बोले राधा रानी की जय, श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। आदरणीय पूजनीय पंडित जी, पंडितगण, प्रिय सज्जनों, प्रिय भक्त समुदाय, महानुभाव, worshipable pandits, dearest devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. Also, a very special welcome, Radhe Radhe, and pranam to those viewing us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Bhakti TV, etc. Tonight we are at the Palmiste Hindu Mandir in Thompson Road, Palmiste. We are here once again to join in beautiful divine satsang. We'll begin with bhajan. I'll briefly explain this bhajan so we get benefit, even those who join us. On page 21. Shri Krishna is been made to dance by the gopis, the milkmaids of Vrindavan. They are clapping. Classical, in tune with the dhun, ta ta thai thai ta 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 thai. They're clapping like this, and Shri Krishna is dancing. While he is dancing, he has beautiful anklets around his ankles. Those that waist the chain around his anklets around his waist that has little bells. And as he's making the various movements, these are also making beautiful sounds. He is dancing in the beautiful Nikunj, most beautiful grove in Vrindavan, flower grove. Hastak mastak katipada bhrikutina. In Indian classical dance, there are so many movements with the eye, the head, the hands, the feet. Every movement has a meaning. And Shri Krishna is making all these movements at various parts of his body, being the topmost among dancers. And he's showing all the various styles, etc. The gopis are also playing beautiful, wonderful instruments while clapping. Bhajata changa mridanga dhol dhap. The chang, mridanga, dhol, dhap, these are all different types of drums. And Sabai Suran Ikasad, everything is in the correct timing. The dhun is in the correct time and all the swar are correct. They all keep in tune. Pancham Surasov Kunja Biharini Gavat Rag Malhar. Radharani. So while the gopis are playing the instrument, Radharani is singing. And she is singing Rag Malhar in the highest, in the swar of Pancham Masur. In the fifth note. Lalita Dik Sangeet Swaminihu Karati Swarana Vistar. Lalita Vishakha Ashtamaha Sakhi Tunga Vidya, etc. They are also like Shri Krishna, Radharani, topmost in everything. They are the topmost in music. And they are given expressions to what Radharani, that rag that Radharani is singing. Kabahu bilambit, kabahu madhyalaya, kabahu duttalaya. Sometime very slow. Bilambit, sometime madhyalaya, sometime a little bit medium. And then sometime very fast. In how they sing, they sometimes go slow, then medium, some fast. Shri Krishna is keeping in tune. Kahat kripalu sabai Sakhin sab jay ho, jay balihar. Jagat Guru Tam Kripalu Mahaprabhu, who's written this beautiful part from the book Premras Madira, is saying that the gopis seen the wonderful dance of Kanhaiya, Shri Krishna. They all saying Jai Ho, Balihar, Balihar. We sacrifice ourselves on this most glorious dance of Shri Krishna. Te tha, te Nanda Kumar nachat ta te Kumar nachat ta te tha, Nand Kumar nachat ta Nand Kumar nachat ta Sakhiyan kahati tatat ता थई थई
सखियन कहती तत ता
तत ता थई थई तत ता थई सखियन कहती तत ता थई थई
सखियन कहती तत ता
मंजू निकुंज मझार नचता
मंजू निकुंज मझार नचता
हो थे बाजत चंदन बजत चरण छूटन नूपुर
बजत चरण छूटन नूपुर
चनन नूपुर चनन नूपुर ओ बजत चरण छूचन नूपुर
बजत चरण छूचन नूपुर
किंकिनी धुनी झनकार नचता
धुनी झनकार नचता
ओ थे था थे नंद कुमार नचता
नंद कुमार नचता
हस्तक मस्तक कटिपद भृकुटीन
हस्तक मस्तक कटिपद भृकुटीन
ओ कटिपद भृकुटीन
कटिपद भृकुटीन
ओ कटिपद भृकुटीन ओ चरण नूपुर चरण
नूपुर
ओ हस्तक मस्तक कटिपद भृकुटीन
हस्तक मस्तक कटिपद भृकुटीन
भेद दिखाव निहार नचता
भेद दिखाव निहार नचता
ओ थे था नंद कुमार नचता
नंद कुमार नचता
बाजत चंग मृदंग ढोल ढप
बाजत चंग मृदंग ढोल ढप
बाजत चंग मृदंग ढोल
ढोल ढप
वाजत छंद मृदंग ढोल ढप
सबे सुरन एक सार नचत था
एक सार नचत था
थे नंद कुमार नचत था
नंद कुमार नचत था
पंचम सुर सो पंचम सुर सो कुंज बिहारी
पंचम सुर सो कुंज बिहारी
ओ पंचम सुर सो कुंज बिहारी
पंचम सुर सो कुंज बिहारी
ओ गावत गावत राग मल्हार नचत था
गावत राग मल्हार नचत था
ओ थे था थे था थे नंद कुमार नचत था
नंद कुमार नचत था
ललितादिक संगीत स्वामिनी हो
ललितादिक
संगीत स्वामिनी हो ललितादिक संगीत स्वामिनी हो
ललितादिक
संगीत स्वामिनी हो करती स्वरन विस्तार नचत था
विस्तार नचत था
ओ थे नंद कुमार नचत था
नंद कुमार नचत था
कबहु विलंबित कबहु माध्यलय
कबहु विलंबित कबहु माध्यलय
ओ कबहु माध्यलय
कबहु माध्यलय
कबहु माध्यलय
कबहु माध्यलय
ओ चरणन चूपुर चनन ओ चनन नूपुर ओ कबहु माध्यलय कबहु विलंबित कबहु माध्यलय
कबहु विलंबित कबहु माध्यलय
कबहु दूत कबहु कबहु कद्रुत लय धार नचतता
कबहु कद्रुत लय धार नचतता
थे था थे थे नंद कुमार नचता थे
नंद कुमार नचता
थे था थे था थे नंद कुमार नचता
नंद कुमार नचता
कहत कृपालु सखीन सब जय हो जय हो
सखीन सब जय हो
सखीन सब जय हो
सब जय हो
ओ जय हो जय हो
जय हो
ओ जय हो जय हो
जय हो जय हो
ओ जय हो जय हो जय हो ओ जय हो जय हो
जय हो जय हो
ओ कहत कृपालु सखीन सब जय हो
कहत कृपालु सखीन सब जय हो
ओ जय हो जय बलिहार नचता
जय हो जय बलिहार नचता
ओ जय हो जय हो जय बलिहार नचता
जय हो जय बलिहार नचता
थे था थे था थे नंद कुमार नचता थे
नंद कुमार नचता
बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Chanting the name of God is very important. Most time, and even now I was singing, most people just sat down and entertained. Oh, it sounds very nice. Oh, let me see where the mistake he's making. We don't join. Even though we're given the book to join, singing and glorifying God's name, especially in this age we live in, which is the Kali Yuga, is very important. God gets very angry when his name is being chanted, his glory is being chanted, and we don't sing. We don't join along, we don't sing. But God says, Acha, you can talk all the gossip, you can say all the foolish thing in the world, but when my glories are being sung, you don't want to sing. Next life, next time you have human birth, Gunga. You'll be born dumb. It's so important. We're told in the scriptures, Kite yadhyayato vishnum tretayam yajyato makhai dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, 12th canto, 3rd chapter, 52nd verse. The Bhagavad Mahapuran says, that which is attained through great difficulty in the age of Satyug. This world we know, the Srishti, this creation, goes in a cycle of 4 yugs. First, there is Satyug. Then after Satyug comes Treta Yug. Then comes the age of Dwapar Yug. Then this age we are living in, which is called the Kali Yuga. Bhagwan Shri Krishna descended at the end of Kali Yuga, the Supreme Lord. He stayed 125 years. The moment he completed his divine pastime, Leela, and ascended to his divine abode, this age of Kali Yuga started. This age is the worst of all the ages, the storehouse of all ills and evils. And it just started. The length of Kali Yuga, 432,000 years, of which just 5,100 and about 30 years is gone. In other words, 427,000 years still to go. We think this age is bad. We haven't seen anything yet. What happens in the Kali Yuga is written in the scriptures. In the Ramayana, there's a section called the Kali Yuga Mahima, where Kag Basundaji outlines to Garuji what happens in Kali Yuga. In the Bhagavad Mahapuran, the 12th canto also describes the Kali Yuga. Many scriptures, Bhavishya Puran, etc. This age will get even more and more bad, more materialistic. People will stop believing in God. Right now it's so hard for us to even chant His name, His glories. There'll come a time no one will even take God's name. Everyone will believe in science only. It'll get so materialistic, evil, that God will have to come Himself and finish the age. He takes a special descension known as Kalki Bhagwan. He doesn't come yet. A lot of people claim in India, they are already here, Kalki Bhagwan. No, He comes for a special purpose. There's a special descension. He comes to destroy, finish this age of Kali Yuga. And then He puts it back at top of again. So that which is attained through great difficulty in the age of Satyug, through Dhyan, meditation on Sri Krishna. In the age of Treta Yuga, through Yagna, sacrificial worship to Sri Krishna. In the age of Dwapar, through Puja, ritualistic worship to Sri Krishna, to God, is easily attained in the age of Kali Yuga, this age of Kali Yuga, just by chanting the name. Dwapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. Again. Kale dosha nidherajan nasti heko mahan gunah. Kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. 12th canto, 3rd chapter, 51st verse, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. Shukadev Paramhans is saying to Parikshit, King Parikshit, that even though this age of Kali Yuga is told to be the worst of all the ages, the storehouse of all ills and evils, wickedness, it has one redeeming factor not found in the other ages. In this age of Kali Yuga, one can become free from the ocean of Maya and attain God realization, the ultimate aim of life, simply by chanting the name of the Lord. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Brajet. In the Ramayana too, Tulsidas Maharaj says, कली युग केवल हरि गुण गावत नर पावहि भव कलियुग केवल नाम आधारा सुमीरी सुमीरी नर उतरहु पारा जय राम श्री
राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
In this section I told you about in the Ramayana, Kali Yuga Mahima. Kaghav Sundarji, through the grace of Bhagwan Shri Ram, saw uncountable Kali Yugas, uncountable. This creation is beginningless, eternal. Uncountable times this creation has happened. Uncountable Satyug, uncountable Treta Yuga, uncountable Dwapar Yuga, uncountable Kali Yuga. Kaghav Sundarji, through the grace of Bhagwan, saw uncountable. And he is describing to Guruji Maharaj what happens in the Kali Yuga. What we can do, we can't do. He says, Kali Yuga keval Hari gun gaha gavat nar pavahi bhavathaha. In the age of Kali Yuga, only keval, Kali Yuga keval, only by chanting the glories, etc. of the Supreme Lord, one can become free from the ocean of Maya. Again, Kali Yuga keval, again keval, only, keval means only. Kali Yuga keval naam adhara, sumiri sumiri nara utarahu para. In this age of Kali Yuga, just taken hold, only by taking hold of the name of the Lord, remembering the Lord again and again, one becomes free from the ocean of Maya. He crosses the ocean of Maya, attains God realization. This Kali Yuga. Can we do anything else besides taking the name? Let's say what Kaghav Sundarji says to Guruji in the Ramayana. Ehi kalikal na sadhan दूजा जोग न जप तप व्रत मख पूजा जय राम श्री
राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
कलियुग, यही kalikal, in this age of Kali Yuga, Kagbasundji is saying, not me. He's saying to Guruji, Kali Yuga, ehi kalikal na sadhana duja. There are things we cannot do, impossible. What? Yoga. Yoga doesn't mean yoga, what people call yoga, physical exercise. Yoga means yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi is yoga. Cannot do yoga. Yoga na jap tapa, jap, doing the name of on the bead, name of God on the bead. Tap, austerities, tapasya. So we don't have the strength. In ages, in ancient times, we hear Rakshas. Forget Rishi Muni, Rakshas, demonic soul. Standing on one toe, with hands upraised, for thousands of years, no water, no food, nothing. Hiranyakashipu. Tapasya. If we have to miss one meal, we feel as though we want to die. Is it Kali Yuga? Yoga and japa tapa, brat, fasting. Fasting doesn't mean, okay, I eat meat, so for a certain time I'm not going to eat any meat. Normally people in the world, they eat everything, eat and drink everything. So when there is Diwali or some religious occasion, or they're going to have some puja in their home, so they say, okay, I'm going to fast. What is the fast? No meat, no alcohol, but I'll eat. And those who are vegetarian, okay, no salt, I'll eat fruit. Fasting means no food. Not only no food, but the mind should be constantly on God. Greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, etc. should not be allowed to come in the mind. That is, no matter how much little things get us angry, upset. Makh, havan, puja, rituals. He's saying all these things you can't do. What to do? Kali Yuga Yoga na jag ज्ञाना एक आधार राम गुण गाना बोलो
राम 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 राजा राम 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 बोलो राम 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 राजा राम राम राम
कलियुग जोग न जाग्य ज्ञाना एक आधार राम गुण गाना बोलो
राम 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 राजा राम 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 बोलो राम 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 राजा राम राम राम.
Many people will say, you know, I don't listen to Kag Basundaji as a crow. Hey bhaiya, Shankar Bhagwan himself took the form of a bird and sat down and listened to Ramayan from Kag Basundaji, from his divine mouth. Kag Basundaji kept that form. It was very dear to him because in the form he could have gotten a divine form. Bhagwan asks. Kag Basundaji said, no, I want this form. Because that was the form, he had the vision. He saw a divine form of Bhagwan Shri Ram. So because in that form he saw Shri Ram, he kept that form. Doesn't matter whether you're a dog in the form of a dog, a donkey, a cat. I'm not the body. Saint knows I'm not the body. We identify with the body. Oh, I don't want to be in the body of a dog. We have been in the body of dog uncountable time. Dog, pig, donkey, rat. The same rat you want to kill. Fly, worm, insect, every form. The soul rotates in 8.4 million forms. We are the soul Atma. We identify with the body is a different thing. We've forgotten we are the soul Atma. Saint knows, I am not the body, I am soul Atma. It's divine. It doesn't matter which body he has or she has. Kag Basundaji is saying, Kali Yuga Yoga na Jagya Gana. Again he says, in the age of Kali Yuga, one cannot do yoga. I mentioned just now what yoga is. Yagya. So difficult. There are 6 conditions to fulfill. One night I explained. And each one impossible in Kali Yuga. Gyan. It's like walking on the sharp edge of a sword. Impossible in Kali Yuga. What to do? Kag Basundaji says, Eka Adhar Ram Gunagana. Just chant the name of the Lord. Chant. Take the name. And we don't want to. Don't want to. We feel shame and shy. There are people, let me show you, give an example. All the devotees of Jagat Gurutam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, who claim that he is their guru, will say Radhe Radhe when we greet others. Anybody we meet, we say Radhe Radhe. Nothing is wrong with saying Sita Ram, anything, but we say Radhe Radhe because we love Radharani so much. Radha Krishna. So we say Radhe Radhe. But there are some of us, we feel ashamed. And certain time we will not say Radhe Radhe. We'll say something else. Because we start thinking, what will people think about me? If we understood the greatness of the name Radha, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, all chant Radhe Radhe. Shri Krishna chants Radhe Radhe. It is said that while Shri Krishna would be sleeping, from every pore of his body, Radhe, 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 the name will come. So much he loves that name Radha. One chants the name Radhe with love. We are protected in all directions. If we understood how great this name Radha is and how dear it is to Shri Krishna, then we'll boldly say Radhe Radhe. We don't anywhere, anytime. Never feel embarrassed to take God's name, to greet anyone in the name of God, to chant God's name. A devotee, it comes a time in a devotee's life when he reaches Bhav Bhakti, that if he doesn't take God's name, he feels as though he wants to die. Like you take a fish out of water and the fish will flop and beat itself, gasping for breath. So a true devotee. It is one of the lakshan, characteristics, symbols of Bhav Bhakti. Not siddha, isn't it perfection, but it's close. Can't remain even for a moment without chanting the name of the Lord. Now we don't have that yet. Our heart, our mind is very dirty. So we love dirt. According to the condition of our heart, our mind, that's what we'll be attracted to the chutney. The song is the talk that's about gossip and how this one do this and that one do that, and we're very attracted to the worldly song. It's boring to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Om Namah Shivaya, a little bit, but I get bored. Radhe, Radhe, how long are you going to say Radhe, Radhe? The point when you realize Radha Rani is in the name, Sri Krishna is in the name, we come into that. And you taste that bliss. So, wanting, chanting the name. But why the name is so important? Why is the name so important? The name of God. No mantra, anything. You don't have to take any mantra. There's no mantra which is more powerful than God's name. No mantra. Any Ved mantra that is more powerful than God's name. Shiv Bhagwan, Shankarji, Shiv Bhagwan, he sits on Mount Kailash in Samadhi. Taken, you know what mantra he says? Ram, Ram, Ram. That's all. No mantra is more powerful than one name of God. Shiv Bhagwan told Parvati this also. Why? Jagat Guru Tam, Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, my Guru, who is the fifth original Jagat Guru, only the fifth. First there was Adi Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, after him came Jagat Guru Nimbarkacharya, then came Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya, then came Jagat Guru Madhavacharya, original. After them, then came the topmost amongst all of them, Jagat Guru Tam, Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. Jagat Guru Tar, better. Jagat Guru Tam, the best. He's written many wonderful books. Thousands and thousands of bhajan, kirtans, divine compositions. Thousands and thousands of speeches. One of the book, Bhakti Shatak. Shatak means 100. 100 divine couplets, dohas, containing all the philosophy of all the Vedas, all the Puranas, all the Darshan Shastra, all the scriptures. In one of the verse, number 18, he says, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe,
Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe,
Krishna Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna,
Krishna Jaya Krishna, Jaya Krishna,
Sabai Shakti hai naam mein, man nishidin आराध राधे राधे।
सबै शक्ति है नाम में, मन इस दिन आराध राधे राधे।
पैनाहि शक्ति न लाभ तीन, ये नाम अपराध राधे राधे। राधे कृष्ण राधे, जय राधे कृष्ण राधे,
जय 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 राधे कृष्ण राधे, जय राधे कृष्ण राधे।
बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu saying in this Doha Bhakti Shatak, Doha number 18, Sabai Shakti hai naam mein, man nishidin aradh. All the powers of God, Sabai Shakti, all the powers of God are in the name of God. All the powers are in the name. Therefore, man nishidin aradh, O mind, chant the name of the Lord day and night, every moment. Chant the name of the Lord. Nishidin, Nishi, Rat, night, day, day and night, 24 hours. Keep chanting the name, worshiping the Lord. Chant the name with love, aradh. Pai binu shakti na labhatin. But even though all the powers of God are in the name and we can get all the benefit, yet we can end up losing and not get any benefit. How? Ke naam aparadh, when we commit naam aparadh, unpardonable sin. Let's go first to, and we'll understand tonight why just by chanting God's name alone, you will attain everything. That's all you have to do. A lot of people say, we read Ramayana, we read everywhere, and the scriptures are saying, in the age of Kali Yuga, all you can do is chant name, the God's name. I don't want to hear, I don't care about that. I'm still going to do everything else that we can't do. Kalbasuruji says, you can't do it. Impossible. I don't care. I'm going to do it. I'm better than Kalbasundiji. Better than Bhagavan. Okay, here. And it's so easy. Huh? Is there anyone who cannot chant God's name? There was one personality who could not chant God's name. You will not find such a personality ever again. His name was Valmiki. Valmiki was such a sinner. His heart was so dirty. He could not say Ram. Ra-ma. 2 syllables. You find anybody in this world for me? No matter what language they speak. English, Spanish, French, Italian, any language. And they're not dumb. Gunga nahi hai. They're not dumb. And they cannot say Rama. Find such a person. You can't. Yet, the Guru said to Valmiki, haven't realized that no one would help him. For all the wrong things he had done, all the sins he used to kill, rob and kill. The Guru, he came and said, Guruji, I accept. Make me your disciple. Please, I want you to be my Guru. He said to Naraji. Naraji said, okay, chant Ram. I'm giving you this name, this mantra, Ram. That's all. Chant the name Ram. Valmiki couldn't chant Ram. His heart was so dirty. So Guru said, okay, you kill. In Hindi, the word to kill, for killing is mara. So say mara. Valmiki never asks Guru, what I'm going to get by saying this mara? Ye mara. No, Guru says, say mara, okay mara. He never asks Guru how long to say mara. When are you going to come back? Guru said, keep saying mara until I return. That's all Naraji said to him. Valmiki never asked, how long are you going to take Guruji? Suppose I want to go toilet. Suppose I want to go to the urinal. No question. He sat down there. Guru, look at how much such a sinner that he couldn't say Ram, yet he accepted Guru's agya, instruction, 100%. And we little things Guru will tell us and we just, I do what my mind say. We don't follow. Valmiki sat down and kept saying Mara till ants built a nest over him. Completely ate out everything. He only remained bone. That's how we got the name Valmiki. And Guru came. Sprinkled water. Valmiki got back whole again. And blessed him that Valmiki wrote the whole Ramayana before Sri Ram even descended. Before he even took descension. Before he came in the world. So one personality. But there's none of us here in Kali Yuga that cannot chant Ram, cannot chant Krishna, Radhe. Yet, when the kirtan is going on, we refuse to chant. Then definitely we'll become Gunga. Next time we get human birth, we'll be dumb. So chant. That's all he says, chant the name. What does this? So, here Jagat Gurutam Kripalu Mahaprabhu is saying, God's name has all the powers of God. God has infinite powers. A name of God in the Vedas is Anant. Anantaschatma Vishwarupo Hyakarta Ved. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Ved. Anantanama Rupaya Ved. The word Anant means Bhagavan, infinite. Everything he has is infinite. Infinite powers. And all that is in the name. Can you imagine? Yet we don't feel anything. We chant the name Radhe Radhe, we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Shiva, Shiv, Shiv, any name of Bhagwan, and nothing, we don't feel anything. Because there's a correct way and a wrong way. There's a correct way and a wrong way. Gaurang Mahaprabhu says, Lord Chaitanya, the special descension of Bhagwan, in the 15th century, God, Bhagwan, Shri Radha and Krishna descended in one form. One form. And that form is known as Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya. He didn't leave much writing. Only 8 Sanskrit verses is called Shikshatak. In one of the verses from Shikshatak, he says, Nam Nam Kadi Bahudha Nija Sarva Shaktis Tartar Pita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Eta Dishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivami Dishamiha Janina Nuraga. Shikshastak. Hey Shri Krishna, hey Bhagwan, you are so merciful. You have thousands and thousands of names, uncountable. Nam Namakari Bahudha. And you are so merciful, you have taken all your powers and put in the name. Nija Sarva Shaktis. God has put all, look, God thinks nobody can see me until they attain God realization. A lot of people say, I see God is their delusion. They're delusionary. Crack. Anybody can look at a murti or picture for a long time and you close your eyes, you will visualize something. Doesn't mean you see God. What God looks like, bhaiya. Not that murti, not the picture. God is in every particle of the murti, every particle of the picture. But what God actually looks like. You have any idea? To describe how beautiful Shri Krishna is, the most beautiful person in the material world is told to be Kamdev, the god of love. Most beautiful. In the material world. Is Devata. To describe how beautiful Shri Krishna is, the saints and the scriptures say, he is more beautiful than the beauty of uncountable Kamdevs combined. We can't even imagine how beautiful Kamdev is. How can we imagine how beautiful God is? And people, I see God. You see a picture, that's not God. In your mind, in your imagination. Keep imagining. So God has taken all his power and put in the name. So God thought, look, come back to the point, that nobody can see me. My divine form, until you have divine eyes, you can't see divine Bhagavan. Even if we see Bhagavan, we won't recognize him. We have seen Bhagavan. Yes, we have. Whenever Bhagavan descended in the world as Ram, Krishna, etc., we were there. In Satyug, in Kal Yuga, in Treta Yuga, Dwapar, we were there. But, Tusidasi tells us, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Bolo Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Oh, Chidanandamaya देह तुम्हारी विगत विकार जानी अधिकार Bolo
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
चिदानंदमय देह तुम्हारी विगत विकार जानि अधिकारी. Tulsidas Ji Maharaj, that great saint, says, just as God is divine, his body, his body is also Chidanandamay, divine. And to see divine body of God, we have to have divine eyes. Vigata vikar jani adhikari. Vikar means maya, greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust. That's vikar. Bigat means one who is free from all of that. Who's become free from maya, who's become deserving. In other words, to see God, you have to have God's eyes, divine eyes. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in Gita, Avajananti mamurha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Chapter 9, verse 11, Gita. Unaware of my divine nature, that I am Bhagavan, God, ignorant human beings under the control of Maya, we people, we mistake him for an ordinary human being like ourselves, with all the defects and shortcomings. In other words, if we were to see God with these eyes, what we have, these eyes, what do they do? They see. What can these eyes see? Material things, because these eyes are material. So if we were to see God with our material eyes, we would see him as a material person with all the defects and shortcomings just like us. The same thing with the saints. That's why when God and the saints come in the world, very few benefit. Very few. Majority we end up cursing, criticizing, abusing, insulting, giving them a bad name. Because we can't see inside. We look outwardly and we get confused. So God says, no one can benefit by seeing me. So, how are my children going to come to me? So God, out of his causeless mercy, said, I will give them my name. Most people attain God by taking the name. When people come, when the God descends in the world, nobody benefits. In the Ramayana it says, one person benefited. Shri Ram, when he came in the age of Treta Yuga, he stayed 11,000 years. And how many people benefited? One. Ek nari tar. Tulsidas says in the Ramayana, one person, Ahilya. And there is still doubt about that. Bhagwan Shri Ram touched her with the dot of his lotus feet. She again transformed into her original self. But it says in the Ramayana, she went to where her husband was. If the husband is in Bhagwan's abode, fine, but suppose he is in heaven somewhere. Then she would have gone there. Anyhow, the point is, only those who were divine were able to benefit. To see him and benefit, know that he is Bhagwan. Otherwise, the majority end up cursing, criticizing, abusing, insulting. And in this Kali Yuga, forget it. Any saint, they will come and they keep coming. But they come out, they're going to face a very hard time. Read history. The saints who have come in this Kali Yuga, Tulsidas, Surdas, Meera, Tukaram, Nanak, Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Kripalu Mahaprabhu, Jagat Gurutam Kripalu Mahaprabhu, any saint. That great saint Mirabai, we sing her bhajans. You know how difficult life was made to her, all because she was singing the glories of her beloved Krishna and dancing for him. Her own family, not strangers, Own in-laws. They give her poison to drink, telling her it was nectar. They put a poisonous snake in a basket and give it to her, telling her it was a garland for the Lord, that it would sting her and she'll die. Nothing happened. This is what happens. Every saint who have come. Every saint. This is a Kali Yuga. So Bhagwan said, okay, this is how they're going to come to me. Take my name. All the power. And he has made no rules. When it comes to taking the name, no rules. Nam Namakad Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatar Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kala. No rules. When you're doing things, rituals, etc. in the world, puja, there are lots of rules and regulations. You have to bathe, certain kind of clothes you have to wear, certain kind of clothes you cannot wear. You have to face certain direction. You cannot sit anywhere and do puja. All kinds of rules. When it comes to taking the name of Bhagwan, no rules. Sit anywhere. Smashan ghat in the burial ground, cremation ground. In the toilet. Anywhere. We cannot make God impure. God purifies the impure. Patita pavan. No rules. Face east, west, north, south, anywhere. There's no rules. You didn't bathe for a whole year, no problem. Chant Radhe Radhe, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram. Be fearless. Cannot make God or God's name impure. Look, when there was puja, there are pundits here, you're doing puja, some marriage, some ceremony, some puja you're doing, the very first mantra in the puja, Panditji gives some water in the hand, then he says, okay, sprinkle it. What is the mantra? Apavitra apavitro va sarvasthangato piva yasmaret pundarikaksham sabahya bhyantara suchi. This is the mantra. First mantra. What is this mantra saying? Whether someone is pure or impure. Apavitra pavitro va sarvasthangato piva. Wherever that person is, whether you're sitting in the mandir, in the ram shop, in the toilet, in the road, or anywhere. Yasmaret pundarikaksha. The moment you think about Shri Krishna, pundarikaksha, Shri Krishna. Smaret, remember. You remember Shri Krishna, think about Shri Krishna. Sabahya bhyantara suchi. That person becomes pure on the inside as well as outside. Now is there a third place to make pure? The whole aim of any puja, any ritual, any spiritual activity is to make the heart, the mind pure. Niramala mana janaso mohi pava, mohi kapatta chal chiddana bhava. Bhagwan Shri Ram is saying to Sugriv, only those who are pure in heart, pure mind can know me, see me, attain me. I cannot tolerate deception, deceit, fraud. So the whole aim of any all spirituality is making the heart, the mind pure. And here it says, Sabahya bhyantara suchi. Bahya outside and bhyanta antara inside. All becomes pure. Just remember Krishna. Now if somebody tells somebody this, just sit down and remember Krishna. When you're going to do puja. That's all. Remember Krishna. Remember God. So no rules. Etadishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi. Hey Shri Krishna, Gaurang Mahaprabhu is saying, your mercies, your grace, your kripa is to the extreme. The highest, the extreme. But durdaivami dishamiha janinanuragaha. My durdaiva, my misfortune, is also to the extreme in that I do not have attachment for singing your name, chanting your name. This is where we started. We're chanting, we're taking God's name, and everybody sit down like, everywhere, majority. I got lots of Mandir, you go, you have a nice bhajan group, and they will sing in the group is singing, nobody else is chanting. They sit down and relax. And that's why I gave the books out. And that's why sometimes to just sing Naam Sankirtan, just chant the name. So you don't have to worry about looking, just chant. It's more important. Everybody has to chant. I can't chant for you. I can show you how to chant, I can show you how to sing, but I can't do it for you, Bhaiya. Or else Tulsidas ji would have said to Valmiki when Valmiki couldn't take the name Ram, okay, I'll do it for you. Don't worry. You just sit down here, I will take the name Ram. I will do the jap for you, the mantra, I will take it. No, Tulsi said, Valmiki, you have to do it. You have to do sadhana. No saint, no Bhagavan can do sadhana for anyone. No one. We all have to do sadhana. Nobody can pray for us. Bhagavan is sitting in our heart and He's taken note of what we do. Someone can guide us, they can show us. But when it comes to it, we have to do it. So my misfortune, I don't have attachment, I don't have love. Yes, I have love for singing the chutney. I have love for singing the dirty worldly song. And the more dirty sometimes, the more we love to sing it. I pass, sometimes you go in the road or you go to the markets, sometimes you go to places like New York and even in America. And these people are playing this music, you feel like the whole place shaking like a bhukamp, like earthquake. And what is the song? The dirtiest thing you can think about. Bad language. And we love it. It shows how nice our heart is. The more dirty the mind is, the more it loves dirty things. If there is purity in the heart, you cannot stand such things. You can't even hear it. You get crazy if you hear such things. You just can't take it. So, and how will that attachment come? When we realize that God is sitting in the name. You see, we take the name, but there's no feeling. The day the feeling will come in our heart, 100%, that God and the name, Naam or Nami, is one and the same, you will see Bhagavan. That's all it takes. That belief, one name and you will see Bhagavan. And we're chanting uncountable, we're chanting nothing is happening. Because it's just like a parrot. We take the name like a parrot. If a parrot is kept in the home, and that home is a home of a devotee, and that devotee is singing Sitaram, Sitaram, Radhe, Radhe every day, the parrot will say Sitaram, Sitaram, Radhe, Radhe. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. But if the parrot is in the home of a drunkard, and every day he uses bad language, what do you think the parrot will say? Radhe, Radhe, Sitaram? He's going to say exactly what he's saying. The parrot follows what we say. So we don't take the name like a parrot. Tote ke saman. Take the name with the feeling that God is in the name. You'll see how much more benefit you will get. Imagine infinite beauty, infinite bliss of that Bhagavan represents. I told you, everything that Sri Krishna has is infinite. Infinite beauty, infinite bliss, infinite Anand, infinite, everything, knowledge, infinite. And all of that is in the name, and yet we don't taste it. If you take water and you put a little bit of sugar in there and you mix it, you will taste the sweetness. Huh? Wouldn't you? And how come we're not tasting the sweetness of Ram when we say Ram? We're not tasting the sweetness of Shiv when we say Shiv. We're not tasting the sweetness of Radhe when we say Radhe, when we say Hare Krishna. Because there's no belief that God is in the name. We have to practice that. We have to practice. It takes practice. Shri Krishna says, Abhyas, Abhyas, Abhyasena tu kaunteya, Vairagena chagrihiyate. Practice, constant practice. Don't just take the name. When you're about to chant, if you're going to chant Shri Krishna, visualize Shri Krishna, remember Shri Krishna. I was saying one day, this Maha Mantra, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's a very powerful mantra. Why? Number one, it's from the Vedas. The Kali Santarane Upanishad. So it's the Ved mantra. So number one is Ved. It's from the Vedas. Number two, it has three names of Sri Krishna. Hari, Ram, Krishna. These are three names of Sri Krishna. So Hare means Hari, addressing God. In Sanskrit, when you address someone, so you're addressing Sri Krishna, Oh Hari, Oh Sri Krishna, so Hare. So you're saying Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, and yet you're not even thinking. You are addressing, Oh Krishna, Hare Krishna, and you're not even thinking about Krishna. Guru say, do jap, do so many mala, that's all you're thinking about, and you've fallen asleep, halfway fallen asleep, you go to the shop, Hare Krishna, hey, how much for this thing? What is your name? Where are you from? Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hey? Kya kar rahe? What are you doing? Nothing is wrong with the job. But how we do it. If we take one name and do it in the right way, we'll get more benefit than we take a million names and we don't do it correctly. I told you there's a right way and there's a wrong way. The right way, one name. Ek ghadi, adho ghadi, adho puni mein adh. The saints tell us, if you take God's name even once, you will attain everything. So are the saints lying to us? Are they telling some big lie because we are taking God's name so much and we have not seen God? We've attained nothing. So are they lying? No, they're not lying. We just have to understand what is the right way to do it. What is the right way? Remember Bhagwan. Realize, have the feeling that when I'm taking the name Krishna, Ram, Radha, any name of Bhagwan, think about Bhagwan. Visualize Bhagwan. You'll see how much more benefit you will get. You will start tasting that bliss. That if you keep doing it, that one day you can't, as I said, you wouldn't be able to, if you stop taking the name, you will feel as though you're going to die. You will start suffocating. Not yet. We have to practice to reach there. That faith we have to develop. That faith that God and the name are one. And if we chant with that feeling, if we think about God, you start practicing, you'll see how much more, you will see for yourself how much more you will benefit. In 10 days' time, 2 weeks' time, you will see how much more you will enjoy then you were just taking the name like that. Now the second line says, so the first line, Sabai Shakti hai naam mein, man nishidin arat. All the powers of God are in the name. So keep chanting, O mind, keep chanting day and night the name of the Lord with love. Visualizing Him, thinking about Him. The second line, Pay nahi shaktin labhatin kiye naam aparad. But we can lose everything. We have to be very careful that we don't commit naam aparad. Naam aparad. Aparad means sin. Naam. Naam means many things here. Naam actually means 6 things. God has 6 things and all equal. All reside in each other. Naam, Roop, Leela, Gun, Sant, Dham, Sant. Naam, name of God, uncountable names. Roop, forms of God, uncountable forms. The Vedas say Anantanam Rupaya. He has uncountable name, uncountable form. Leela, divine pastimes, infinite, uncountable. Gun, virtues, in uncountable virtues. Dham, divine abodes, uncountable. Saints, uncountable. And each one of these has all of them stored in it. Anyone we can take hold of and we'll go to Bhagwan. Any one of these 6. Any sin committed against any one of these 6 is not unpardonable sin. There's a lot of sins that we can commit in the world, yet we can get pardon for it. We can be forgiven. There's something called Prayashchit Karma in the Vedas. Prayashchit Karma, repentative actions. You kill a cow, you do something, there are certain actions you can do, certain karma, rituals you can do in the Vedas that you can get forgiven. But if you commit nama prad, and when you commit nama prad, it's like the seed is about to bloom and frosts fall on it, destroys completely. It'll be destroyed. Or insecticide. Weedicide, falls in it. You destroy it. That's what Nam Aparad does. It destroys it. You will be chanting, no tears, no bliss, nothing. Any one of the 6. And most dangerous, saint. This is the most dangerous one. Most dangerous. Gurus Vishnu sthane kitam papam Guru sthane pramuchyate Guru sthane kitam papam bhajalepo bhavishyati. The scripture says, if someone thinks wrong about God, commits a sin against God, the saint can forgive. The true Guru, the saint can forgive. But someone commits a sin against a saint, just thinking negative about a saint. You don't have to do anything, just think. Bhagwan says, I will not forgive. He will not forgive. If anybody has to forgive, the saint you committed the sin against will forgive. Very briefly, I'll give an example. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, there was a great devotee, a king, Ambarish. Ambarish ruled the entire world, one king. In ancient times, there were kings like this in Satyug. Ambarish, Dhruv, Prahlad. They ruled the entire world, one king. Ambarish was such a great devotee. Once Ambarish he did Brat. He fasted for 1 year on the Dwadashi means the 12th day. The Hindu calendar only has 30 days, 30. And it's divided in two paksh. Krishna paksh, Shukla paksh. Krishna paksh means the dark half of the moon. Shukla paksh, the bright half. So from 1 to 15. 15. And one is new moon, one is full moon. New moon means dark night. Anyhow, so the 12th day is very dear to Sri Krishna. Dwadashi, like the 13th day is very dear to Shiv Bhagwan. So there are two Shivratri in every month also too. Anyhow, I don't want to go into all of that. So he, being a devotee of Sri Krishna, together with his wife, he fasted, not for anything worldly. He's a bhakt, a devotee. Devotee doesn't want worldly things. To increase his love, his bhakti, his love for Sri Krishna. For 1 year. And the kind of fasting I told you, the kind of breath, no water even. And every moment chanting the name of the Lord. No lust, greed, anger, jealousy, anything came in the mind. Having completed, so 24 Dwadashi, he had to break that breath, the fast. Or else, in order to get the benefit of observing this 24 Dwadashi, he had to break it. To break it, he invited the Rishis and Munis, Brahmin, the Rishis and Munis, that he would go to feed them, give them gifts. He's a king, one king in the whole world. Thousands and thousands of cows and jewels and, can't even go in detail. Give them gifts and feed them. Everybody sat down to eat. Suddenly Durvasa Muni came. Now he did not invite Durvasa Muni, but Durvasa Muni came. Seeing Durvasa Muni and recognizing Durvasa Muni, Ambarish got up very quickly, washed his lotus feet, worshipped him, and asked him to come and sit too. Durvasa Muni said, Beta, look, I didn't bathe as yet. So let me go and take my bath in the Yamuna, and then I'll come back. So Durvasa Muni went in the Yamuna and deliberately stayed very long. Now there's something called Muhurt. Muhurt, the auspicious time. So it was coming, just about a half a Muhurt was left. Very short time. And if that passed, he would not be able to get the fruit of having fasted, that bhakti, that love he was hoping to get. So, he knew the answer. He's a great saint. He realized God. He was such a great devotee. He was a king, one king of the whole world. Yet he would go personally by himself and take a broom, a jharu, and he will sweep the Mandir of Bhagwan. He would clean the murtis, bathe them, clothe them. He would take food and feed the beggars. But with his own hands. And we do, somebody tell you come and clean, do that. No, I can't do those things. And imagine, he's one king for the whole world. Such humility. Every sense in organ he used in service of Bhagwan, in service of the Lord. Everywhere he saw Shri Krishna, he saw Bhagwan. Siya Rama mai sab jag jani, karahu pranam jori jugopani, jit dekhu tit sham mai hai. So, he knew that the solution, he thought to himself, if I drink a few drops of water, I would have broken the fast and I would not have insulted the saint because I would not have eaten. For him to eat and break the fast would have been an insult to Durvasa Muni. So he came to that conclusion, but he still conferred with all the rishis and munis there, and they all agreed that this was the solution, that he would not have insulted Durvasa. So he put a few drops of water in the hand and drank it to break the fast. The moment he did that, Durvasa came. Durvasa got so angry. So angry. He broke some of the hair from his chakra, came and destroyed Kritya. And then went after Durvasa Muni, You try to harm a devotee of Bhagavan. Durvasa Muni is a rishi. A rishi topmost. Bhagavan made Durvasa Muni his guru when he came in Dwapar. Durvasa Muni ran everywhere. He went to Brahma, he went to Shiv, everybody. Nobody would give protection. Nah, bhaiya. This is a spiritual government. When it comes to that, if we give shelter to you, we'll be siding with you, we'll be aiding and abetting. Finally, he was told, look, Shivji said, go to Shri Krishna. He is the one who has this weapon. If anybody can save you, Shri Krishna. Durvasa Muni went and fell at the feet of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, begging, Pahimam, Trahimam, please protect me, please protect me. Durvasa Muni, Bhagavan Krishna said, Aham bhakta paradhino, hiya swatantra ivadvuja, sadhu bhirgrasta hridayo, bhaktair bhakta janapriya. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 9th canto, 4th chapter, 63rd verse. He said, Durvasa, I can't help you. I can't do anything. Durvasa said, my Lord, you are Param Swatantra. You are supremely independent, free. No one, nothing governs you. You can do anything. Yeah, that is true. The scripture says that. Param Swatantra Nasira Balako. But when it comes to a bhakt, those who love me, aham bhakta paradhinaha. I am controlled by those who love me, by their love, their bhakti. This is the greatness of bhakti. People hear bhakti and they think, what is so great? Bhakti controls Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, I am no longer free, Durvasa, when it comes to those who love me, my bhakt, my saint, my devotee, those who are surrendered to me completely. They tie me up with the cord, the rope of their love, and they make me dance to their tune as the monkey dances to the tune of the trainer. I'm no longer free. If anyone can save you, if anyone will forgive you, Ambarish. If Ambarish forgive you is fine, I cannot do anything. The one you committed the sin against. Durvasa went, fell at the feet of Ambarish. Ambarish was so embarrassed. What are you doing? You are Brahman, both are saint. But one is a Brahman, Brahma Rishi. And one is a Kshatri, he is a king. I am a Kshatri, you are Brahman. How can you bow to me? This is not right. Durvasa said, Ambarish, when it comes to karma, there's Brahman, Kshatri. When it comes to bhakti, there's no Brahman, Kshatri, anything. Bhakti overtakes everything. You're a bhakt. That overtakes everything. Ambarish embraced Durvasa. And was he forgave him? He didn't even remember. A devotee doesn't even think about who did what to him or anything. Put him to sleep, fed him, give him gifts, etc. The point is, not even Bhagavan will forgive. If anybody has to forgive, the saint, that devotee, that saint whom we committed that aparad against, or else everything is destroyed. So we have to be very careful. The name has everything, but we can lose it if we're not careful. All right? So there's much more, but just telling that little story, we took so much more time extra. Not a story. It's not a story. It's a divine narration from Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran. This is a katha. This is an incident that actually happened. It's there in Bhagavat Mahapuran, 9th canto. You can read it sometime. बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, राधा रानी की जय, श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, जय जय श्री राधे।